Okay, you can catch up. I just go wherever you want me to go here. Whoops, I gotta get this on the right side. So everything you gotta carry with you. Your bullets and everything to kill people, and then everything to keep you alive. So this bag is full of stuff that keeps me alive. So what is in here that's not gonna be hard and rotty and smelly?
Jerky?
Beef jerky. Yeah, here's some right here. You're welcome to eat this. This is only about a year old. I do this with the school kids every year. And this is what they didn't eat. So you're welcome to have some beef jerky. It's real hard.
Yeah.
Just like the bread. Hardtack is real hard.
That's the other thing. A lot of hardtack.
Peanuts, they don't rot away either.
Right.
What if I had regular pork chops in here, or regular steaks? They get all rotten and smelly. So if I had some, I'd have to eat it quick. I have oatmeal in here, that's nice and dry. Who was the guy from Akron, Marcia, that made his money selling all this oatmeal to the Union?
Yeah.
Old Quaker.
The old Quaker. Ferdinand Schumacher.
That's right,
That
Schumacher.
German guy figured out how to make that stuff and sell it to the government. He was a millionaire back in the Civil War days.
Did you know he didn't have insurance on that place? When
Yeah, he burned it down.
What is
Those
it?
old guys didn't believe in that.
What's the green vegetable
The
there?
Quakers and all that.
The mills are still there. They turned them into a hotel.
Yeah, Akron U owns them now. These are dried peas.
Oh, okay, that's what I wondered.
Excuse the plastic bags. I just have plastic bags so you can see what I had to eat. Whatever I could keep in here. I have some tobacco. And I have some soybeans, black-eyed peas, coffee beans. All of these things, that's what I get to eat. And who knows when my next meal's coming, because there'll be weeks and weeks. Sometimes we don't get to have our own food. Oh, there's one more. So you're welcome for any of that to have it, because it's still good, even though it's a year old. If you didn't have anything else to eat but that hard bread and crackers and all that, you'd eat it because you're starving. So we march on our stomachs, but a lot of times they didn't give us enough food. At the end of the war, of course, we were told to go find your food from all those southern guys. Go take their food and eat it. So that's why us Ohio guys in Georgia are not very well respected. I represent the 29th Ohio Volunteer Infantry. I live in the Akron area, and the group that I represent 150 years ago would now be in Virginia right now fighting against Stonewall Jackson, and he was winning. Those guys were much smarter than our silly generals that didn't tell us what to do right. We weren't trained as well as some of them, and so Stonewall Jackson, for the longest time, until he was killed in the Battle of Chancellorsville by accident by his own men, they would have very well won the war. So afterwards, Robert E. Lee lost his right-hand man, and we were able to take it back over. But I represent the 29th Ohio. We went in a very prestigious war record for us Akron boys. We were in the war at the beginning in the western part of Virginia, fighting against Stonewall in that Shenandoah Valley.
That was his valley.
Yep, that was. Then we were told to go east because the cavalry and Robert E. Lee was going to make a run to Washington. Then they told us to go back to Washington and fight against the leftovers that Robert E. Lee didn't have going against Washington. Then they put us on trains, and toward the middle of the war, we had to put down the draft riots in New York City. Then we went on to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and gained some fame, and finished the war going through Georgia. So that was about 1,500 miles. Some of it we got train rides, but most of it we walked. So a little old Akron farm boy like me, or store man, we got a lot of experiences. And of course, towards the end of the war, you know, we were the winning team. When we went through Georgia, we left nothing there for them to have any.
So they were on the march, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Did not know.
We just took a 10-mile. We just went through Atlanta and won that. That was a hard battle. All the way to Savannah, Georgia, on Christmas Day of 1864, and then up through North Carolina, and then the war was over. Robert E. Lee gave up. So it took 5 years and 650,000 people to do that. So I have water and food to keep me alive, and how do I shoot people? Well, this is how they trained it to do. And he knows from World War II, what do I get to do to shoot this thing? What do I do first when I load? That's my order. I'm standing here. I'm the sergeant. Load. What do I do? Take the powder out of here. It's got a bullet in the top. Today I don't. Today I just have gunpowder. I'll show you what the bullets look like once I'm done shooting. Then what do I do to get the bullet in there? I mean,
You gotta put it in there.
tear it off,
Tear it
dump
off,
in the
pour it in.
gunpowder.
Should be followed by.
You don't have to put the paper in this one. The bullet's nice enough. I would have the bullet in my teeth when I tore it off, or I could keep it in my fingers. Now what's next? Got to take this thing out and push it all the way down to the bottom. And then put this back so you can shoot again. Now we're not ready to shoot yet. We got one more thing to do. If I'm good, I can do this in 30 seconds. You just keep practicing to do that. If people are shooting at you, 3 rounds a minute.
Can
One
you
more
turn
thing
this
left.
way a
What do I
little
got to do, Jack?
Put your cap on.
Tap on, right. This little sparky thing that comes in here. That'll make it work. Then you stand there until everybody's ready. If you're a slow guy, you got to take it like a man. If you duck, they got guys that were mad at you. So you load fast as you can, because when we shoot all together. So if there's 100 of us together, it's ready. Take aim. Fire. Woo! Then you load as fast as you can. If they keep coming, then you keep coming and keep coming and coming.
Oh, neat.
So that's what we try and do. If we run out of bullets, what do we do?
Bayonet.
Bayonet. We put this on and fight hand to hand.
Fixed bayonet.
Yep, fixed bayonets. Now most people never got to get hurt with these though, because these bullets will go up to a mile.
Wow.
You don't know where you're going to hit, but to aim at something, I can hit 400 or 500 yards away.
I know. We went to Gettysburg one time.
The mini
They
ball,
were
let me
talking
show
about
you that.
they were pointing off to the ridge, and he was like, "Hey,
Then
people
I'll
carry that
have you
on."
ask
And it
me
was
any
shocking.
questions. These are the things that we shot each other with. And again, everything's the same except for using these. We just put gunpowder in that paper and not, excuse the plastic. It's
I was
not
going to say you didn't have plastic back
Right.
then.
Don't yell at me, Pastor. Give me a break here.
There's Ziplocs back
I got to
there.
see what's in here. Some of these little baggies in here, I got my toothbrush and all. What's in here is my sewing kit and such, which is brand new and I can't remember, so I got it.
What did a toothbrush look like back then?
Just the same. It's made out of a bone. And nothing exciting for that. This is the this is the original one. When they first started the war, these ones are the ones they shot.
Lead?
Let me
The
zoom in on
round
that.
lead balls, and they went all cockeyed because they don't fire straight as equal. That's why when you shoot, everybody shoots together. Well, towards the middle of the war, they had this invention called the mini ball.
I got one of those.
And this thing spins like a football, so it goes 4 times further. So you can shoot that much quicker. You never got a chance to get close enough to use a bayonet on each other. So I have a few of those in here that have been dug out of the dirt, if I can find it.
Ball get its name.
The mini ball got its name from Captain Minier, a Frenchman who invented that. I also have a nice other thing to show here, don't I? This is the original that doesn't go very straight. This is the mini ball that does. And then these are ones that I dug out of the ground after I shot the real thing. So they leave a big shotgun hole inside of it. And then this is another piece I dug out of the ground. This is part of a cannonball that blew up.
Where'd you dig for that at?
Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was amazing that my metal detector was able to find it, because you're against the law. You're not allowed to do that on National Park, or you get to go to jail. You have to have a farm or a place where you think some cannonballs would be to do these kinds of things. That's why these are white, because these were brand new, made for a few years ago at most. These have been in the ground for a number of years, so the lead turns white. Questions? I do this because we enjoy it. I'm a former school teacher and a historical guy. I'm in the Green Historical Society and the Plain Historical Society and the Ohio. And I'm here for my friend today with the
What's your name?
other side. Ted Dudra is my name, and I live in Green by the airport. Your name?
Stacy O'Brien.
Stacy O'Brien. How you nice?
I know, I just realized this was Pat.
Hey, an Irish lady you are.
Yeah, I am.
And you know you should be speaking the Irish blarney.
I know.
Because as a sergeant, you know, there's many a sergeants that were from Ireland.
Right.
And we were the ones that keep the boys in the ranks. Because if they had not the courage to keep against the enemy, I'd be the one to shoot them in the foot or whatever it takes, or stab them with a because they'll not be cowards in mine, and I'll teach them to know their left from the right when they're marching and where to load and how fast to do it, etc., etc. You saw the movie Glory. That's the man I'm trying to emulate.
Yeah, wow.
But who was he in charge of? Lori? No, say again. Stacy. Who was he in charge of?
I don't know.
All the black soldiers. They did not allow the blacks to be with the whites until 1948. The army was segregated, so they had their own group. They didn't let them join until the 60s after the emancipation. Yeah.
That's something.
So that movie showed that pretty good.
And they did a great job in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. There's 100,000 of them. Some of them were freed slaves. Some of them were free black men that just chose to fight for the Union like the rest of us did. And even after the war, they were still mistreated as sharecroppers and all that. It was sad. It was sad. There's a lot of racism yet today, hidden, but those black guys had everything they could do. So.
Such a large number of Irish involved in the Civil War that many of them fought under their own banner.
Correct. Yeah, the Irish Brigade was quite, and they were the ones that died in Antietam in September. All our buddies are going to September in. That's the biggest battle that this country's ever had as far as casualties go. 21,000 in one day. Nobody has had a battle in this country anywhere near that many killed or wounded in one day. And why? Those Irish guys, they were said, go and attack, go. They got killed. The next bunch, go and attack again. So the bodies were just piled up. September 21st of this year, we'll be doing that. About 15,000 of us to do the cornfield and Burnside's Bridge, etc. And we're doing everything you saw right here, except for real bullets.
Now, where do you do that at?
Antietam, Maryland.
Oh.
Boonesboro is the closest. You're not allowed to do it on the actual Gettysburg or the actual Antietam or the actual Shiloh. You have to find a farm or somewhere close enough that they will allow you to do that. So the promoters rent, lease the farm, etc. So at Shiloh, you know what? I didn't bring any pictures. I should have my pictures to show you what we were doing. There was a wagon train full of us. You had a picture in the woods, and oh my goodness!
Feel that for
you could
quite
feel
some
that
miles.
up the road, right? From Gettysburg, you could feel it in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
That's how loud that cannonade was before Pickett's charge. So that's next year.
Did you say next weekend is Hale Farm? You guys are doing a reenactment?
11th and the 12th, Marcia.
Oh.
Come to see us at Hale Farm. We'll all be there. They're on the bad side, and I'm on the good side. Have you been to Hale Farm, girls?
I have.
Jack, you been to Hale Farm?
Yes.
We're camped next to the visitor center this year. The Confederates are across the street in the village where the church and all that.
Train.
Yeah, that's right. You can do that as well. And there's 50 horses coming this year because they're making movies, etc. So there'll be bumper to bumper people this year.
That would be.
I hope the battlefield's big enough to hold us all because we'll have 500 of us. That's more like a Civil War battle.
Now, where's that at?
Hale Farm
Hale
and
and
Village
what-
on the west side of Akron.
What time?
It's the battle will transpire somewhere around the 3 o'clock hour each day, Saturday and Sunday.
I mean, what date?
Next week, 11th and the 12th. of
Oh,
August.
okay.
There's always something going on if you want to do it.
Well, at night, if you don't have anything to do, there's a meteor shower that night where you're supposed to be able to see 50 meteors in an hour.
Where are you going to see it, Patsy?
I'm going to be over in Green at the soccer field.
Okay, because you know the Portage Lakes Historical, not Portage Lakes. The Portage Lakes State Park has the astronomy club meets there.
Right.
And you need to go there. Those telescopes are like this big.
I saw Saturn through that
computerized.
telescope
Have you been there?
years
It's
ago.
amazing. These guys just put their little computer in this old right